And if we've decided to follow the captain's advice and not trust the Vogels, let's see what happens if we go with Kadashi and Shizuka. I'd made up my mind. I would rather partner with Kadashi and Shizuka. Their altruistic desire to put the mission first was a deeply respectable one. They were trying to make the best of an impossible situation, appealing to reason in an attempt to prevent the crew from descending into anarchy, and I admired them for that. Kadashi and Shizuka stood quite close to the door. Their faces were surprisingly solemn as I joined them. I was just wondering if your offer to team up still stood. It's a shame that your plan didn't work out, but I guess we have no choice but to play the game if everyone else is playing, right?
To say that our plan didn't work wouldn't be entirely true.
What do you mean?
You see, when Shizuka joked that she already knew your number, she actually wasn't joking. We're really sorry to have to do this to you. We only lied so that you would support our plan and we'd be able to get you out of this mess. We tried, kiddo. We really did.
I don't understand. What are you saying?
Are you familiar with the phrase, every man for himself and the devil take the hindmost?
No, what does that have to do with this?
It's a proverb from the 18th century. It means that everyone should look after themselves and leave those who can't to meet their fate. We decided as a crew that we should take care of ourselves.
It's nothing personal.
My heart sank as I slowly came to understand.
Once we told everyone you had 5 and suggested we should just sacrifice you, they were far more willing to get involved with our strategy.
They'd betrayed me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was as good as dead. My heart pounded in my chest, sending blood rushing through my eardrums so loudly that I thought they might burst. My eyes burned as light exploded behind my eyes and the world began to blur. I was going to die today. I was going to die. No, I don't want to die.
Oh, looks like the cat's out of the bag.
Why would you do this to me? Countless pairs of bulging eyes fixated on me as I stepped back, desperate to get away from them. Fear rapidly gave way to anger. When someone tried to put their hand on my back, I lashed out furiously, ferociously, shoving them away. Don't touch me! You don't know a thing about me! I'm a genius, did you know that? A proper genius! If you'd given me more time, I could have saved the whole bloody lot of you, but you've made your bed, and now you'll have to lie in it.
Please. We didn't mean it to be like this.
This was the first time I've ever been in contact with anyone other than my parents. And do you know what I've concluded? You're all complete bastards. I was going to die. Alone, unloved, unremembered, unmourned. I could have done so much. I could have, if they'd just give me a chance. I could have. I crawled into a ball trying to find solace in my own thoughts during my final hour. Before long, my time had run out.
Extra, extra! Be sharp, sing on rooftop! Attention, attention! This round of the deletion game has come to an end. All participants are to meet in the dining room at once.
Dai's voice thundered throughout the ship. I froze. The moment we'd all been dreading had finally arrived.
You'd all better hurry. I'm not going to wait to announce the results, you know.
I closed my eyes, inhaled and exhaled deeply. I was as ready as I was ever going to be. Everyone congregated in the dining hall within minutes of Dai's announcement. An uncomfortable silence fell over the room as we waited to hear the results.
It's judgment time, everyone. If you'll all take a look up here, I've created a handy holographic scoreboard for your viewing convenience. You can thank me later. In a minute, this board will display everyone's final results. Keep in mind, the numbers of each individual player in a group will not be displayed, only their combined scores. After all, what's done is done.
My heart was pounding so hard against the inside of my chest that it threatened to burst into pieces at any moment. Shallow, rapid breaths were all I could muster as I clenched my eyes shut, horrified to see my fate sealed in glowing letters and numbers.
Ooh, I'm just so excited for you all to find out the results. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
There you go, everyone made 10, except for us.
Congratulations, everybody! You'll all live to fight again. Everybody except the new guy, that is. As the loser of round 2, you must now submit yourself to the method of execution of my choosing. Let's spin the wheel of fatality to see what gruesome punishment lies in store for you. Ooh, I can hardly wait.
With a flourish, Dai conjured a sizable holographic wheel split up into labeled sections. I barely managed to read them all before Dai passed judgment. Gravity, airlock, oxygen, incineration, and spacewalk. Each one sounded more ominous than the last. Within seconds, Dai gave the wheel a hefty spin and the sections of the wheel blurred into one another. My eyes were fixed on the wheel as it gradually slowed, tick, tick, ticking its way to a standstill as the arrow circled the dial, finally coming to rest on.
Incineration.
Please no, anything but that.
No time like the present. Let's head on down to the furnace room, shall we?
Accepting my fate, I solemnly fell into step behind Dai as she led the way to the furnace room with a spring in her step. As we filed into the furnace room, the ambient temperature rose with every passing step, and I slowly became aware of the gentle crackling of flames. The cavernous room was dominated by the raging fire of the furnace itself, held at bay by a thick pane of reinforced glass. As the last of our group crossed the threshold, the door shut behind us with a resounding thud. Even on this side of the glass, the heat radiating out from the furnace was overwhelming. Although there was a maintenance access panel located on the chute emerging from the top of the furnace, this occasion clearly warranted the use of the hinged door cut into the glass.
Here we are. For losing round 2 of the deletion game, you've been sentenced to death by incineration. I must insist that you enter the furnace immediately. I've taken the liberty of preheating the furnace for your arrival. You should find it quite cozy.
I entered the furnace without hesitation. Nothing would save me from the anguish I already felt inside at being betrayed by the entire crew. The sooner it was done with, the better. My skin instantly began to sting upon entering. Bursts of pain shooting through my nerves as the blades licked at my legs.
Company? Fall in!
The tongues of flame had begun to blacken my uniform as Kimiko shouted. Searing pain jolted through me as violent blistering welts started forming on my exposed skin.
Research officer. You have served honorably aboard the Everett during your short time with us. Company? Salute!
The entire line saluted in unison, their faces a mixture of snide contentment, pity, and fear. The flames danced across my skin, bringing with them a new bout of torment. Animalistic howls racked at my body as I shrieked, unable to bear the pain any longer. My charred skin was starting to slough off, separating from the muscle underneath it in dry flakes that were virtually indistinguishable from burnt scraps of paper. I clamped my eyes shut, sickened at the sight of it. The putrid smell of my own burning hair and flesh mixed with the smoke pouring off of my flaming body, forcing its way down my throat and scalding my lungs. I began to cough violently in a vain attempt to expel the smoke from my lungs, struggling for breath between fits of coughing. Like a fish out of water, I continued to ineffectually gasp for air, but there was nothing left to breathe amid the blazing inferno. Some part of my mind dimly realized that I was asphyxiating. The disgusting squelch and sizzling sounds of fat and muscle roasting as it cooked suddenly seemed so far away. Oops, missed one. As my consciousness faded to black, the last thing I heard was the sound of my agonized screams ricocheting throughout the room, wordlessly pleading for death. You have died. Now I just need the toasty sound effect.